Welcome to Inner Peace Arts Unscripted. I'm your host, James Coleman. I'm a writer. I write on personal development, spirituality, and social change at innerpeacearts.wordpress.com. I'm also a practitioner of what I call Inner Peace Arts, which is essentially at its heart a way of dealing with reality and all of its difficulties, not just the parts you like. So today I'm going to talk about change, but about the idea that, well, let's think about the idea if experience is the rewiring of the brain. If experience is the rewiring of the brain, it means that everything that happens to you affects you. And so here I'm going to be touching on the social implications of this idea. So what it means is, let's take advertising. Advertising affects your brain. How does advertising affect your brain and create experience? And what's the impact of that experience, right? Your interactions with the police, how does that experience shape you? So the brain is rewiring itself based on experience, and those experiences then contribute to its rewiring. So this notion of the recursive brain is actually not a new one. It's old. If you read Gödel Escher Bach, it's a book, it's probably about 40 years old now. It talks about this. But now I'm talking about it in a social context, and the things that are decided by whoever is in charge of the creation of mass cultural products, and the experience that they create, and what the impact of that experience is. If you know that the brain has changed, you know that there's something physical that happens to a person as a result of their interaction with your creation. What is your responsibility in creating that creation? That's a big question. And I think that it's one that we may not really think about too much as the recipients of culture, of cultural creations, of artifacts that others have created for us. So what does it imply? It basically implies that it's known and it's easy to see that cultural products, the creation of those products, is exercising a kind of control over you. And it's exercising control because your brain rewires itself based on experience, right? So if you're not really conscious of that fact and making changes to counter whatever is coming from cultural artifacts that's not good for you, well, then you're in a position where you're never going to be free, because you're never going to be able to create a counter experience to that which is creating an experience in you. This is, I think, profound and a good reason to get good at managing your self-talk so that it actually reflects your agenda and not the agenda of the cultural artifact which you consume. And it's not just advertising, it's the idea of, go to school, go to college, get a good job, retire, right? It's the idea of, grow up, get married, be happy, have kids. It's the idea of, okay, I'm going to open a business and work really hard and make my money and live my life, right? All of these are stories, cultural artifacts, myths, I don't want to say myths, but we'll just say stories that get embedded and we start to follow without question. And someone says, well, why are you going to school? You're like, well, I'm supposed to go to school. Oh, now we're getting into these I'm supposed to. Well, that's an experience that you had that rewired the brain, that you heard, that was accepted, that you went ahead and allowed to operate within you. And like I said to other people, there's thousands of these programs, and how do you deal with them? How do you find them all? At any rate, that's the idea today. If experience rewires the brain, experience is controlling the brain, and that experience has control. Control implies some kind of agenda, something implied in that information that goes in a certain direction. And we're exposed to all kinds of ideas. Some people are affected more than others. Some people have less, need more training to counter those effects. I was one of those people. I guess I was just doggedly persistent and said, no, 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 no. It took a long time. No, 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 no. But it can be done, and it's a great place to be. But that's not why I'm talking right now. It's really about the understanding the implications of, and this is something for you to explore in your own life. What are the things that are happening around you, the influences that come to you? Where are they coming from? What's their agenda? Because they are changing your brain, and you need to have counter programs to make sure that you're staying on track, so that your brain is changing in a way that reflects your agenda. I'm James Coleman. I love making these videos for you guys. I write, again, innerpeacearts.wordpress.com, and I hope that this one was impactful for you today. Have a good one, and Happy New Year 2018.